What's up, YouTube? It's Gambino the Gunman here to talk about the Glock 19 and the Glock 20 SF, two of my favorite guns that I have in my collection so far. I just wanted to give any new gun buyers an insight on the difference between a 9mm cartridge and a 10mm cartridge. Now, everyone knows about the Glock 19. This is like a world famous gun. This thing runs and a lot of people buy it. Since it came out, a whole lot of people own a Glock 19. I'm actually late on the purchase of the Glock 19, but I just started buying guns in the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic. So before we get started, always safety first. To anybody who's going to shoot a video or operate any type of firearm, make sure your gun is clear. Okay, so I'm going to clear the Glock 19 real quick. As you can see, it's loaded because I keep my guns loaded for safety reasons. Also keep them safe. I'm going to put the magazine back in here because I want you guys to get a full view of how these guns look with the magazine. And this is the Glock 20 right here, 10mm. It's clear, nothing in there, empty, and there's that. So when I started buying guns, like as I said in my previous videos, my first guns were Smith & Wessons. Then I started gravitating towards Glock. My first purchase was a 10mm. I'm the type of guy that likes stopping power. I know 9mm works good. I'm fully aware that shot placement is very important, but I've heard stories about 9mm not being able to take down just take down a violent person, especially somebody who's on drugs or has erratic behavior. So I went for, of course, my first gun was chambered and 40 Smith & Wesson, but when I heard about the 10mm, I went towards that instead of 45. Now, a lot of people love 45. 45 is like the American gun, but I heard that the 45 ballistically pales in comparison to the 10mm. So I went with the 10mm. I could have got a Glock 21, but I wanted the 10mm, which is why I bought the Glock 20 SF. And this is a beast right here. I say that all the time in my videos, but look at this thing. It is just an absolute beast. And a lot of people say that you can't conceal this. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a big dude. I stand 6'3", about 250, 260, somewhere around there. And I can still carry this gun. And as I went on through my gun journey, I decided, okay, I need something smaller besides the shield that I have, you know, that may hold more in capacity, even though in California we're only limited to 10 rounds. Something that would hold 10 rounds, because the shield holds, the 40 shield that I have holds, I believe 7+1, and this is 10. So I wanted to add this to my CCW. So I got this one. And I put this one on my CCW as well. Here in my county, we could have up to 10 pistols registered in our CCW. So I went with the Glock 19. I'm very satisfied with both. Since I've started dealing with firearms and purchasing them and collecting them, I heard a lot of great things about this bad boy right here. The Glock 19, whether you have Gen 3, 4, 5, or even the first generation, it just runs. And so far I haven't been able to put a lot of rounds through it because I've been extremely busy researching ways on how I could make my YouTube channel better and how to get you guys some good range footage. I'm testing out some cameras and everything. So I only put 100 rounds through this since I got it. And it runs, just like everyone else said. It's a beast. And 9mm has good stopping power. There's a reason why most law enforcement agencies went back towards the 9mm. Nothing against the 40. The 40 has extremely good ballistics. I don't care what anybody says. I looked at Hornady's ballistics and the 40 is still up there. So if you want to buy a 40 Smith & Wesson pistol, I say go for it. There's nothing wrong with owning a 40 Smith & Wesson. So I was talking to a buddy of mine And I was like, you know what? I already got the Glock 20. I might as well get a 19 so I can have 19 and 20. So I got the 19 and 20. Just a little thing for me, you know. And I wanted to do this video to show any new gun buyers what you would be getting as far as the different types of Glocks right here. Even though they look the same, there's a big difference in the cartridge and how it shoots, in the weight, the barrel length, how much stopping power you have at your hands. And I would tell anybody, you can't go wrong with either one of these guns, okay? So, the Glock 19, as you can see, compared to the 20, that slide is extremely, on the Glock 20, is beefier than the 20, than the 19. That slide is, look how thick that is. It's like the 45, it's like the Glock 21, same size, same gun actually. But when you compare this to the Glock 19, you can see a world of difference here. I keep all my sights stocked because I have no problem seeing out of these. A lot of people don't like them because they're polymer, but I'm not gonna be running a gun unless I take a training course where I'm gonna be dropping my gun and throwing it. And to be honest with you guys, I really feel like, hey, if I want to spend this much money on a gun, I'm not gonna throw it down just to see if it works afterwards. I'm not in special forces. I just want the gun for protection, for sport, and you know, it's a part of my collection. I want these things to last. So I maybe in the future I'll change all that stuff out. But for right now, I really don't see the need. I'm trying to build up my AR-15 collection, maybe buy a shotgun. Who knows? Whatever else may come down the line, because there's some laws that are going to be changed here in California to where we'll no longer have to deal with 10-round magazines for our AR-15s or our pistols. We won't be restricted to only buying Gen 3 Glocks, and we'll be able to have all the new guns like the new MP 2.0, the steel frame. We'll be able to have access to that, and thanks to the Supreme Court ruling on the Bruin case, a lot of things are changing in California. So don't count us out here. We still have guns. We still have access to most of the stuff that the rest of the country has. We're just restricted on certain things. Okay. So in comparison, the Glock 19 has a 4.2-inch barrel. It has a safety trigger right there. The normal capacity magazines that it come with is 15 rounds. And of course the caliber is 9x19. That's what a 9mm look like for anyone new to the firearms family, because we are like a family here. And the trigger pull is about a five-pound trigger. A lot of people change those out. You can, if you want to. They have great options, aftermarket triggers available. You can find them anywhere like Apex Trigger, whatever. But honestly, after you shoot your gun a while, after you put so many rounds through it, that trigger loosens up. And you don't want anything too light, because if you're going to carry one of these pistols or any pistol, you want to make sure that it's for self-defense purposes. You don't want to have a mistake if you got to use it, especially if you have a 3-pound trigger or 2.5-pound trigger or whatever. So loaded with the magazine, the Glock 19 weighs 30 ounces, which isn't bad. If you got the right gear on, the right type of belt, you'll be fine. It has a safety trigger. Of course, if you don't disengage that little blade right there, if you don't push that in, this trigger's not gonna move. And it's drop safe. Some people drop theirs, throw them. You can see videos of that online on YouTube, and you'll see that it's not gonna fire, okay? Now the weight with the empty magazine is 30.5 ounces. And I think I said with the loaded magazine is 39.68 ounces for the Glock 19. So, no, I'm sorry. It's 30.16 loaded, and with the empty magazine is 23.63 ounces. Okay, sorry about that. Now the 10 millimeter standard capacity magazine for this is 15 rounds. Now with both of these pistols, you can have a 30-round magazine since, you know, if you live in one of those free states like Arizona or Texas, you could actually buy a stick and put it in there and it'll run just fine. I've seen videos of people shooting 30 rounds, 50 round drums out of these, and it just runs, okay? Both of these guns are very, very reliable. Now, loaded, this gun weighs 39.68 ounces. Unloaded, it weighs 30.5 ounces. And the barrel length for this one is 4.61, and I believe I mentioned this one too, is 4.2 inches. That's how long the barrel is for both of these guns. Now, no matter what type of gun you have, you always want to invest in training. You could be a great shot, but don't just shoot paper targets. Go to a defensive pistol training where you could run and gun, where you could do certain drills, room clearing drills, and so forth. And to show you a comparison, these two bullets, you would never think that a millimeter would make a big difference. But that's the 10 millimeter, and this is a 9 millimeter. Now, my thing about stopping power is the bigger the better. The bigger hole you can put in something, the more, the better it is. 9 millimeter works, but I'll trust my life with a 10 millimeter. Some people say, well, 10 millimeter small, it's not a 40, it's not a 45. Well, it's a fast moving round. A 45 moves very slow. It'll get the job done. All of these will, even a 22 would. But you want to put a bigger hole in somebody that's trying to harm you, go with the 10 millimeter. These things are known for knocking down grizzly bears in Alaska and certain parts of the world. People have used this gun to protect themselves from big game, not just grizzly bears, but mountain lions too. And also to their hollow points, you can just tell the 9 millimeter has a nice size cavity. Let's get that to focus. But that 10 right there, boy, that 10 is something else. So, and also too, what a lot of people don't know is this is a 10 millimeter, this is a 9 millimeter striker. What is that called? Primer. Now, nice size, okay? Nice size primer. But look at this bad boy. That primer is pretty big. It's even bigger than the 40. Not so much sure about the 45. A buddy of mine has a 45. He swears by it, but hey, I'm like, man, I don't even want a 45 after shooting this. And guess what? After he shot this bad boy, he wants a 10 millimeter now. So, as you can see, these two guns, I got to get some talent grits for this, but you can see how thick the 10 millimeter is versus the 9 millimeter. The palm swells right here, they're both easy to hold. You can hold both of these guns easily. It don't matter what size hand you have, it'll work. Okay, if you got bigger hands, you can buy extensions for them. You got small hands, it'll still wrap around. I've seen people that are smaller than me shoot both of these fairly well. Now, some people will think that, well, you know, the 10's a bigger 40, it snaps a lot. I'll tell you this much. This gun shoots flat, and it's smooth. It's so heavy up front. It has so much beef in there that it manages recoil just nice. My group is pretty tight, and I'm still learning. You know, I'm not an expert, but I know how tight my groupings are, and I can get good groups on this gun. Same with this gun. This gun's way lighter. The bullet's lighter. When you shoot it, there's not much recoil to it, and they just shoot great. This gun is very reliable. This gun right here, this 10 millimeter. Glock 19, we already know. For most of us who've been doing this gun thing for a while, that's all you hear about. Glock 19, Glock 17, Glock 19, Gen 3, 4, 5. It just runs. It's so reliable that people just buy it just because some people own two of them. They got the 19 and the 19X. This gun, you can get it in a smaller frame. You can get the Glock 29, which is way smaller than both of these. Glock 29 is about the size of a Glock 26. So, with that being said, they're both the same gun. Polymer frame, safety trigger, the magazine release is the same. Only thing that's different is the slide and the spring, the recoil spring. plastic guide rod. The magazines for the 10 is obviously bigger. And I think that's what made the 10 so popular, because normally 10 millimeter comes in 1911s. You can buy a 1911 chamber in 10 millimeter easy, but they only hold like 7 or 9 rounds, 7 to 9 rounds. With this, you can fit 15 in there. So I can't wait until our judges in our district court change that law, which could be happening soon, because I'm going to buy a bunch of 15-round magazines. I'm going to buy some 15 rounds for this. I'm going to buy some drums, everything. I just need to stack up on my magazines, so when I go to the range or go training, I can have an even better time training, learning, having fun with my friends and family. But yeah, this is the size of the magazines right here. The Glock 19 is obviously smaller. The 10 is bigger because, of course, the 10 millimeter is a bigger bullet. But as you can see, those bullets, the 9 is smaller. I mean, if you're just starting out, you want to start out with 9, start out with 9. If you want to start out with 10, go for it. They're both easy to manage. The only thing is, 9 millimeter, that's another reason why I got this gun, the Glock 19, is because 9 millimeter is a whole lot cheaper than the 10. I could buy a 50-round pack right now at the current market rate in 9 millimeter for 20 bucks. When I want to buy a 50-round pack, 10 millimeter, it's almost $60. So you gotta consider that, because the market is really inflated right now, and some of these stores are ripping us off. But so far, I've been finding deals. I'm only going after deals. But that's it. That's all I have to say about these guns. They're both great investments. I mean, you could get these for a little bit under $6 right now. Well, this one's over $6. This one you can still get for a little bit under $6, the Glock 19. So if you're new and you want to know which gun you could have, both of these are great bedside guns if you don't want to conceal carry them. They're both fun range toys. This one's cheaper to run because 9 millimeter is a whole lot cheaper than 10. And this one's a little bit more expensive, but if you want to shoot with some maximum power, something that's close to a 44 Magnum or 357, 10's a go. If you want something that's just gonna be easy to manage, 9 millimeters is a go. Glock 19 is the way to go. So, like I said, they're both great guns. The 10 is obviously bigger in height. It's a bigger gun. You can tell the difference when you hold this one compared to this one, loaded or unloaded. You'll see the difference. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. This is my take on the Glock 19 versus the Glock 20. I strongly believe that these are the last 2 Glocks I am going to buy. I don't want to have a whole bunch of pistols. I'm more into AR-15s, rifles, 308s, whatever. Bolt action, I want to get into that. Revolvers, I'm not too sure. As far as handguns, I might buy one revolver in the future, but it's on my bucket list for later on down the line. I want to get some more I want to get some shotguns, more AR-15s, AR-10s. For right now, I have my Glocks, I got my Smith & Wessons, and these are my go-to guns as far as pistols go. I'll go with the 40, but for right now, the 40 shield that I have by Smith & Wesson, but for right now, I'm really breaking these 2 guns in. I got about 800 rounds, I don't know, a little bit more, a little bit less on this one because I hit it longer and I put 100 rounds through here. And I'm glad that I made this investment with both of these guns. My theory was to have the 19 and 20 and to have 2 Smith & Wessons and 2 Glocks. Not really a Springfield fan or a SIG fan. Maybe in the future I'll buy one. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to share my videos. And thank you to all the new subscribers who subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. I try to answer all your reply to all your comments, and make sure that I interact with you guys. I have some cool stuff being worked out for this channel. I will get you guys some range footage, but right now where I'm at in California, it's 115 degrees here, so I'm not going nowhere. But coming soon, probably within the next few weeks, I'll have some range footage. Most likely around the time when I introduced my AR-15 build that I did last year. I want to get that video out. It's going to be a different setup. You're not just going to have it laid out right here. I'm trying to find some new angles. So bear with me, you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Be sure to share this video with your friends so they can subscribe, and maybe I can teach them something, or you guys can tell me something in the comments that I can learn. We're all learning here. This is an ongoing training process when you're dealing with firearms. Don't think that you're proficient just because you know how to unload it, shoot it, and check it, and safety check it. Always train, 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 train. Don't just buy guns just to buy them, shoot them a couple times, and put them away. Train as much as possible, because you never know. And like always, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Peace.